Verdadero reporting there. Thank you, Jordan. Well, new information tonight on a police shooting in Sandy. An officer out of surgery and recovering in the hospital. We learned that just moments ago. This after being shot while trying to serve a warrant. Now, the shooting happened early this morning at an apartment complex near State Street in 90th South. Sandy police officers say they were trying to serve a narcotics warrant at an apartment when they were immediately met with gunfire at the door. Officers saying they fired back at that point. Both an officer and the resident were shot and taken to the hospital. Both are expected to survive. And today's shooting marks the fourth one in just the last 3 months. Sandy police say that shootings are on the rise and say they're working to answer why. ABC4's Jordan Burroughs is live outside of the Sandy Police Department this evening. And Jordan, what is the department doing to address this problem?
Emily, Sergeant Clay Swenson with the Sandy Police Department says because of that rise in shootings, the police department is stepping up its community involvement. They're saying it's about face-to-face interactions with residents of Sandy and that proactive policing. And these 4 shootings in the last 3 months, it's the most they've had in this summer than in many summers past. Historic Sandy has been one of the hot spots for crime and even more so for shootings. Sergeant Swenson with Sandy PD says even though the last 4 shootings have happened there, the city of Sandy is well protected.
And Sandy's a really safe city. We've noticed an uptick, obviously, in shootings, particularly in the last few months.
In the last few months, a mother of 4, 53-year-old Masako Kenley was shot dead. 2 teenagers and a 20-year-old, a part of a drive-by shooting, were also shot. And another teen was shot in a drive-by in August. And on Wednesday, a police officer and suspect were shot. Before these shootings, Sandy PD only had 2 from January to the beginning of July.
These aren't necessarily crimes that we can predict or deter, and we kind of deal with those problems as they come to us.
Swenson can confirm one trend. He says there is a certain age group they need to be worried about, as they've been involved in a majority of shootings this year and the ones in the last few months.
From what we've seen, these are younger kids possibly involved in gang activity, and you know, that's what we're looking at. That's the focus of our attention right now is to try to solve that problem. So we believe that's where most of this is coming from.
Swenson says they typically see an uptick of violent crimes like shootings in the summer, but says this is unusual for Sandy, as it is usually a peaceful community. He adds the department is working on having proactive policing and keeping their staffing numbers high. A big thing, he says, is involving the community and being more transparent, so they've hosted a few community involvement meetings this summer. Sergeant Swenson says he always appreciates the feedback from the community. He says that's why they are, of course, stepping up those foot patrols so they can be more visible for the residents here in Sandy. Reporting live in Sandy, Jordan Burroughs, ABC4 News.
All right, thank you, Jordan. Well, opposition growing